Alright, so today's the day. We're going back to the Goodwill bins. We're going to hopefully find a bunch of inventory to list. Our money pile is now dried up, so we need to find some inventory and inventory fast. We're going to head there now, but we need to check our sold items for the day. Vintage sheet. I think it's like an Australian brand that has these little fish on there. It's just one sheet, but some of them are sold for more. This one, I think, held on to for a while, and I'm just glad to see it go. This is an Orvis shirt, short sleeve button up, XL, so always a nice size to have, and the elastic kind of material with the cool brown little logo there, so easy flip there. These are some windbreakers I had for a while, vintage Nike. They don't have any side pockets. Listed them and they sold within a week. And this Canon Cano Slide or Lide 120. It's just a scanner, but it didn't have a power cord, so didn't go quite for what I thought it would go for, but I still got profits from it, and was just glad to see it sell. I get a lot of questions about shipping and how I go about it. For the most part, I sell a lot of clothes, so they go in these black poly bags I use. Anything under a pound ships first class, so it's never usually over $5. No matter where it is in the US. Heavier things go in these flat rate poly bags that I have. They're the padded ones, free from the USPS. Anything close by, maybe I'll ship differently, but for the most part they go in those. And bigger items, they just go into boxes that I have laying around. These are leftover Amazon boxes. For the most part, I have to Frankenbox these to make them snug. You don't want things rattling around in there. You want to make sure it's nice and snug in there. So I'll cut off extra flaps, I'll put in filling in there, and I really just want to make sure it'll get there safely. I don't want any returns or broken items, so really just take your time on packaging things. Okay, so 4 items packed and ready to rock. Just got to get these labeled up and head to the post office to drop them off, and then we'll get our ways over to the Goodwill bins. So I almost accidentally left without packaging one more order. I don't sell a lot on Poshmark, so I kind of forget that things are there. But luckily I have somewhat of a memory to know that I had to grab these Nike Sky High Dunks. These are size 7. I also have a size 7.5, but they're just pretty much wedges. They used to sell for a lot more. These sold for, I believe, 80, but they don't always go that much. I don't know if there was just a lack of this size or they just didn't look around very hard, but I had them priced up high on Posh and thinking they would maybe make an offer, but they didn't. They just ended up paying full price, so I'll take that. I'm gonna send these out, and then we'll head to, finally, the Goodwill bins. Okay, so we just got to the Goodwill bins. It looked crazy when I peeked in, but it could have just been that there was a new basket coming out or a new bin set coming out. So either way, excited to just be back here and looking around. So let's see what we can find. First order of business is to grab a basket. It's a good sign when there are some available, because there are times where it gets so busy that there are none up for grabs. First bin here, we pick up this scarf. It's a Snoopy muffler scarf. Ended up being stained, so I wish I didn't pick it up, but I bought it here. Shortly after, find this Kobe Bryant 24 jersey. It would probably be better if it was an 8, but this one's nice as well, so I picked that up. Then I came across this weighted blanket. I know there's money in these, but I didn't know how much this one was worth. I knew it had the tag, and I knew it was nice, so I was willing to pick it up, but I wasn't sure what they were going to charge. I was lifting it up here to see how heavy it would be. I was just hoping they wouldn't charge by the pound. A familiar logo here, the Brahma Bull on an Under Armour shirt, which means it's a Project Rock item. These are really popular and they sell well because of the rock, and this one was just a nice, easy pickup. As I'm eyeing these worthless pants, you can see everyone lining up because they're rolling out the new bins. You see the guy with the mask rolling them in there, and everyone's surrounding over there, but I'm finding Lululemon shorts over here, so it just shows that you don't have to be in the crowd to find the things. There's always other items still to be found at the bins everyone else has already picked through. This has probably been sitting here for at least 20 minutes, and I easily just swoop on it. I'm not saying I haven't been in that crowd digging through the fresh bins, but I just wasn't into it today. Instead, I was finding this Champion reverse weave hoodie just 10 feet away. Obviously, an extra small is not ideal. You'd want a larger size, but at the bins, you gotta pick this up. and still just taking my time picking through bins that dozens of people have already gone through, and I come across these Patagonia shorts. They're salmon colored or like a light pink. They're swim trunks that are with the lining on the inside. With the summer coming around, this is a great little pickup for $2. And would you believe it, another Patagonia item, this time a crew neck sweater. This is a cool little item, very clean, my size, so it's hard to not keep it for myself, but I believe my wife is going to keep it, so nice find either way. Okay, so I got that huge weighted blanket. It didn't go by pounds, luckily, but it is a big score. They charged me $2.50 for the blanket. Spent $16 in total for the weighted blanket and everything we got in the bag. So a couple Patagonia items, a Lululemon shorts. That's a nice little haul though. It's not as extensive or as huge as we usually would pull from there, but some of those other ones that we used to grab were kind of bread and butter, and some of them are still hanging around. So there comes a point where less is more as far as inventory and time to list everything and storage. So definitely a successful haul. Glad I came out. It was pretty busy in there, but that's expected. People know what's up, so success. And that, folks, is why the bins is known as the best spot to source inventory for flipping online for a profit. I mean, a lot of those things, $16 for all of that what I'd got alone. I think the Patagonia shorts will do that alone. So the fact that those prices even surprisingly even beat garage sale prices is, I mean, it never surprises me when I go in there and just how much stuff I can get and the quality stuff that people not only donate, but that trickles down into and eventually makes it to the Goodwill bin. Cool to come up on some nice things. That blanket was a real surprise as far as the pricing. I thought for sure I was gonna have to offer like $10. I thought first they were gonna go by pounds. I'm pretty sure it's a 20-pound weighted blanket, so that would have been ridiculous if that was the price. I was just gonna offer the manager $10 if they wanted to just hand it over and me to get it out of there. But the cashier said $2.50, so of course I took that. One of the listings I saw was $150 for one of those, so it's just crazy that it was sitting there, and I saw a lot of people in there. I started kind of getting off put by how many people were in there and how little I thought there would be left to grab, but it's just a reminder that there's so much stuff in there and so many things being donated and moved on through the Goodwill system that it's a good thing that there's that many people in there, at least trying to redirect it to someone else or at least making use of it. Kudos to everyone else out there for picking at the bins and finding new homes for these items that were definitely destined for nowhere. Alrighty, folks, it's the next day. We had such a great time at the bins. We're gonna go back. I mean, what did we find overall? We found 2 Patagonia items, a shorts and a crew neck sweater. The crew neck sweater my wife's keeping, so that's out of the picture. But we still got 4 things other than the blanket to flip from there, and we only spent $16, so it works out to about $3.50 or $3.25 an item, which is just crazy when you compare it to what I'm paying at thrift stores. So of course we're gonna go back to the bins today, just riding that high of just finding good deals for a low cost. So we're gonna go back, but we're gonna save that for the next episode. Thanks for watching.